We all desire to live happy and healthy lives. Sometimes when it comes to our health, and especially our weight, that's easier said than done. Hi, I'm Jim Masters, host of CUTV News. There are so many temptations all around us. And with our busy lives these days, we don't always make the time or even feel like we have the time to eat right, exercise, meditate, and do what it takes to stay healthy. Over 95% of diets actually fail. People tend to lose interest. Well, my special guest today is someone who knows all too well the real struggles of maintaining a healthy weight and healthy lifestyle. But she's someone who has also found an effective way to lose weight, keep it off, and stay healthy at the same time. Her name is Jo-Anne Eadie, founder and creator of a unique program called Exhale Weight that'll change your life. Jo-Anne is a board-certified master consulting hypnotist, NGH certified instructor of hypnosis, and a certified practitioner of Sheila Granger's Gastric band. The program is a combination of the virtual Gastric band with hypnosis technique that is rapidly spreading worldwide, combined with an outstanding and effective holistic approach to lifelong weight management. In her book, Exhale Weight, Jo-Anne shares her personal thoughts and techniques to bring awareness to a new approach in weight management through her Exhale Weight program. To learn more about this amazing program and how it might work for you and or someone else you hold dear, Jo-Anne Eadie joins me today in the CUTV News studios. Jo-Anne, it's a real honor and pleasure to have you with us, and thanks for joining us on CUTV News.
Thank you for having me. I'm always happy to talk about the program.
Absolutely. We're going to talk about this book in just a moment, Exhale Weight. It really is an incredible, incredible text and a useful resource. I've been thumbing through it and getting tips all weekend long, writing a lot of stuff down to keep referring to this book.
Right.
But before we get to this incredible book and her program, I'm fascinated to know when I ask a question of a guest, I like to dig a little deeper and find out the aha moments, their own personal journey, the Jo-Anne story, as to what are some of the things in your own life, those aha moments that inspired you and motivated you and empowered you to want to not only learn more about all of this, but also help people in the process.
My older sister struggled with her weight as a child, and I remember her being teased and whatnot, and I never had a weight problem. I was tall and thin and could eat anything I wanted. How annoying is that to have a little sister?
You're one of those, huh?
Can do that. And when I hit middle age, 50 pounds visited and just wouldn't go away. And I tried all the diets and all the advice and everything else, and just wondered why my body wouldn't work with me. And so as I worked with all the different programs, I sorted out what works and what doesn't. And I think I've captured it in Exhale Weight.
So explain the process. I love the name Exhale Weight. I mean, it just seems so freeing. And I'm sure that was part of why you called it that. It just feels like you have the power, like you can own it and you can really...
Just by taking a deep breath.
Taking a deep breath. So how does it actually really work and what makes it so unique, Jo-Anne?
Well, the virtual Gastric band takes care of the physical controls of stopping when you're full. Exhale Weight takes care of the emotional components. So many people use emotions, with their food.
Oh, yeah.
Hollywood makes it cute when boy meets girl and then boy and girl have a fight and the girl's sitting on the couch in her onesie with a big tub of ice cream and a spoon and makes it, soothing to have that ice cream. And we know that that's not the job of food.
Right.
Food is not there to soothe our soul.
Right.
Food's not the enemy, though.
That's right.
We need food to nourish our body, and we love food. And so we make it easy to work with and not the enemy.
Because a lot of times we do have that emotional connection to food. When we're depressed, when we're happy, when we want to celebrate, when we're confused, when we're worried, we go to food to sort of neutralize things, to sort of maybe calm things. It's also very social. So we're surrounded by so much food. As I said in the open, there's so many temptations all around us. So how do we go through life sort of avoiding the temptation to want to use food to, like you said, soothe when we have things that maybe we feel we can't necessarily handle on our own. We use it as a numbing agent.
Right. So the very first thing I do when a client comes in is I ask them if it would, on the program, if it would be all right if I bossed them around, controlled their finances, told them what to do most of the day. And most people answer, no, I don't think so. And I say, but you let food do that. Why can't I do that? And when they think about that, they realize that that's true. Food beckons to you.
Yeah.
You know, that bag of chips that's open and you want to eat the whole thing. And
Guilty as charged.
Absolutely.
I think we've all done that from time
Absolutely.
to time.
And so
Haven't you?
I try to teach them to be in control. Who's in control? You or the food.
Yeah.
And once they get that concept, they begin to enjoy their food again. Because really, when they're overeating, they're not really enjoying that food. Because afterwards, they call themselves names, they feel guilty, they feel bad. And who wants to feel bad?
Exactly.
Right.
I think the fascinating part of all of this with Exhale Weight, too, with this unique program you've created, is the use of hypnosis.
Yes.
I mentioned at the top you're incredibly experienced when it comes to the world of hypnosis, certified, and you've been doing this for many, many years. So how does hypnosis come into play to be able to have that power to allow us to be able to control our eating and maintain our weight and that healthy lifestyle we all aim for?
Yeah. The easiest way I can explain it is the conscious mind is the part of our mind that makes decisions and does our day-to-day work and whatnot. The subconscious mind is like a big computer that gathers all the information about us, good, bad, or otherwise. It doesn't discriminate.
No.
It just gathers.
It's there.
Just like a big computer. So we can go into that big computer and delete files. And that's what's done through hypnosis.
See, people don't realize that you can actually do that. You can alter that. So if somebody is a client of yours for the very first time,
Yes.
and they've been struggling with weight, and it's something they've been struggling with all their life, what's some of the process like? Take us through the process of how you would work
So the
with
very
them.
first thing I do is I give them a sign to hang up in their house in a lot of different places, and it says, I am in total control of what I eat, when I eat, and how much I eat.
I like that.
I am in total control.
Yeah.
And what that does is it's a visual, so that every time you see that, it's put into that big computer
That
there.
I'm the one. Yeah.
But it goes into both computers, the subconscious and the subconscious.
It's very reinforcing, too.
It is.
It's every time they feel like they're going off the track or what have you, they look at that and I'm in
Right.
control. You really are. We are
It
in
is.
control.
And the second thing is that the virtual gastric band and Exhale Weight goes back to how we ate growing up. 3 meals a day.
Yeah.
We didn't snack in between. Now, the modern programs now want you to eat 5 or 6 small
Constantly
meals
be
a day,
eating, yeah,
grazing all day.
Yeah.
And they're telling us that it kickstarts the metabolism. Well, my experience showed me that you're telling someone totally out of control with their eating
To keep-
to eat 6 times a day, and they're not eating a carrot stick. And in my own journey at 10:30 one day, I ate a donut. And then I said, oh, that's okay. I'm kickstarting my metabolism.
right.
Because we do. We didn't tell ourselves things. We are in denial. We lie to ourselves. And I really convinced myself that I was kickstarting my metabolism by eating that donut at 10:30. Now, I have another theory on that. With 3 meals a day,
Did you feel good after eating the donut? Or
No,
did you,
of course
you didn't
not.
feel good?
Not
Tasted
really.
good, but then right after,
I justified it, but I still didn't feel good.
that's usually what always happens.
Yeah, yeah, right.
Wow.
So I have a theory about eating the 3 meals a day. You eat breakfast, let's say, at 7 o'clock. So it takes about 2.5 to 3 hours for it to go through the entire digestive program. It isn't just a matter of it emptying out of the stomach. It goes through the bloodstream. It goes through all the organs. The nutrients are extracted. The waste is, goes in a different direction. And so let's say around 9:30, 10, the total digestive process is finished. Now the organs go to burning fat and working on the fat stores. So if you eat again at that time, the body has to go back to digestion. So you are perpetually in digestion all day long. And the same thing with eating late at night. Instead of going to sleep and your body resting along with you, it's in digestive mode.
And that's where people get acid reflux and a lot of other things that people are dealing with from eating late. You're digesting and you should be resting, like you say.
Right, letting your body rest along with you. And so intermittent fasting, your body fasting in between meals, is actually working on the fat stores. If your meal doesn't take you up to the next meal, you're not eating enough. Isn't that interesting?
It really is, yeah.
Because we all think about dieting as eating less.
Right.
This is not a diet. And that's the most wonderful thing about it. There is no deprivation on this program. In fact, setting up deprivation is what makes you fail. And so you can have anything you want on this program as long as you have it within your 3 meals. Stop when you're full, which is where the gastric band comes in. The virtual gastric band. This is not surgery.
Yeah, so let's talk about
that. Not real surgery.
Most people watching this probably are very familiar with the surgical gastric band. But this is a virtual gastric band. So explain that and tell us more about it. How does it work?
It's installed in the mind with hypnosis.
It's amazing.
And hypnosis is very, very powerful. And you and I were speaking before we began about how powerful hypnosis is. And I brought forth a jingle from way back that you actually knew the product, and the product isn't even around anymore.
It was a toothpaste.
And so, and so I said to you, so were you in hypnosis? We all know that commercials is probably one of the most familiar forms of hypnosis. There's many, many commercials that we can bring up that people know exactly what the product is just by describing a little bit of the commercial.
That's incredible.
So that's how powerful hypnosis is. If it can remember that, why can't it remember to stop when you're full? When we reinforce it in so many ways through hypnosis. So the virtual gastric band program, the client comes in the first week and we install the band. Through hypnosis, they have the operation and install the band.
And again, it's not a physical operation. There's no surgery, which is the amazing part of all of this.
Yes.
So they'll come in and, take us through that.
We have a hypnosis session where we install the band, and so then the next week...
Is there any prep for them? Do they have to be
talk to them about,
relaxed, or they have to be in a certain state of mind, or no?
Well, I bring them into hypnosis, the entire process. So they are fully relaxed and open to receive.
Which is the key, right?
Right. Hypnosis is focused attention.
Yeah.
And so through relaxation, we get them to, accept all the suggestions that we present.
That's amazing.
Right.
So the success rate, the response, what have people been saying? I mean, for you personally, you've done it on yourself.
Yes.
And you've been able to maintain and live that healthy lifestyle, have that weight management.
Right.
And again, you're able to walk the walk, talk the talk, which is essential. So you know what you're talking about when you're presenting it to people. How does it make you feel knowing that you are in control yourself as the expert?
When you feel in control, you feel more confident. You don't feel that out of control, the opposite.
Right.
And we all know what that feels like sometimes because we've all experienced that. I am so thrilled with my own journey with this because finally the weight came off. And I am looking after my future health. I am now a senior citizen, and I
do not believe that at all.
Thank you so much.
No.
I want to look after my future health. I want to be a healthy older person. And the route that I was going with the extra poundage was not going to let me have that healthier old age.
Right. Right, because it's tied to everything else, blood pressure, cholesterol,
Everything.
and so many other things that we hear.
And yet I am never deprived of anything. In fact, yesterday when I arrived, our GPS didn't work very well coming from the airport to where our hotel was, and we were very frustrated by the time we got to the hotel. And I went out and had
some EFT tapping to
I
calm
did
that
not.
down?
I went out and had a beer and a steak.
So she's saying live your life,
Absolutely.
but in moderation. Don't, so many times you do have to deprive, or at least we're told that you have to deprive.
We think we do.
Either
we
all
don't.
carbs and no fat, all fat and no carbs, and it's just too confusing, and that's why people give up. That's why the diets they mentioned, they fail.
You eat what you want, you stop when you're full. And once you begin to start losing weight, then it's what I call emotional integrity.
You have to
sets
see
in.
Results, right?
You start saying to yourself, you know what, I'm doing really well on this program, and it's so easy. So you know what, I don't need another piece of cheesecake. Right. I have the one, I just don't have two.
And eat it slower too, right?
Absolutely.
Because we're so, you mentioned at the top that we're so rushed and so busy. We're eating on the run. Some people eat in the car, they eat at their desk. So they'll eat fast, and then 20 minutes later, an hour later, they're hungry again for something else.
And in my program, in one of the weeks, I love doing groups. Groups are so much fun because the people in the groups always are making jokes and sharing stories. And one of the exercises we do in one of the weeks is I give them either a Ritz cracker or a rice cracker, because they're the exact
just the right size.
Size for everybody. Nobody gets more than the other. And we put it in our mouth and we see how long we can chew that. And some people can chew it like 50, 60 times, and it's just liquid in the mouth.
By the time
But it teaches us a couple things. Number one, of course we're not going to chew our food 60 times. It's a little bit too slow. But it teaches us to slow down. And because as you're chewing that many times, the flavors burst differently. It's amazing. And digestion does begin in the mouth. So we're doing our stomach a favor as well. And it just shows us that we can slow down and really enjoy that food. And then we do it with a little tiny peanut. And the reason I do that is because, and you're a peanut butter lover.
Oh, I love peanut butter.
As you chew that tiny little peanut, you're amazed at how long you can chew it, and the flavor bursts like peanut butter. So it's just an important thing, but it's also a fun exercise.
It's a fun exercise as well.
Another thing that I do with people in the Exhale Weight program, and this is another key component, is I have them do what's called the body image exercise. So as they take their clothes off at night, they stand naked in front of a full-length mirror. They look down their body and say, I release judgment, release criticism. And the reason we have them think that while they're looking their body up and down is so that those thoughts can't come into the mind like, oh my God, look at my thighs. Or
which would be the first. Some people might even have a struggle even doing that.
Even doing that much, and they do.
Or getting up to the mirror, like, oh, I don't even like to look in the mirror when they...
And there's so many purposes to this exercise. We have them say, release judgment and criticism so that they stop judging and criticizing. They have to turn to the side, turn to the back, and do the foresight, and then they're done. They'll come back a week later. Some ladies will do it, and they'll say they did it begrudgingly. Some say it got easier over the week. Some will begin to cry and say they could not complete it. I just tell them to stick with it, just keep trying to do it, because after 30 days, they just go, I don't care no more.
No-brainer.
And the whole purpose of this is if you don't love yourself now, even when you lose the weight, you'll still find something wrong with yourself in the mirror. Oh, and we want it to be, I don't care anymore.
Right.
That's how you should feel about your body.
Right.
You're perfect, whole, and complete exactly the way you are. And the thing is, that body image exercise makes you feel in control.
Which is the
It goes
bottom
back
line.
to that
It goes back
thing
to,
again.
right.
It makes you
right.
feel confident. It makes you love yourself, and goes back to that original concept.
Without pills, without all these medications, without all these over-the-counter
Right.
promises, because that's what people are looking for these days. Sometimes it's a quick fix.
Right.
Oh, if I just take this pill, I can then eat anything I want, or I can just do this, or the pill
Right.
will be magic. And sometimes you can get into a bad situation, taking down the wrong path. If you're taking all this over-the-counter stuff, could have harmful effects,
Yes.
side effects, not good, right?
Now, this is not a diet. That is one of the most difficult parts of the program, is convincing people
That it's
it's not a
not,
diet.
right.
When they come back and report back to me the following week, and they'll go, oh, Jo-Anne, I've been doing so well, but I was so bad this week. And I go, no, 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 no. There's no good or bad. There's no high or low. It is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
And if you go off the program one day, just like I did
you're
last
human.
night, you just get back on the next morning. You know what? That's as simple as it is.
But you were
It's
good today,
everything-
because when we went to the coffee shop prior to taping, you had just a nice
Just my
coffee, but
tea.
you didn't have
Yep.
the pastries and the cookies and the
That's right.
muffins. They were all right there available.
Because I remind myself that I am in control.
So you were-
And that I am fasting between breakfast and lunch.
And-
I'm allowing my body to fast.
And because you didn't get it, I saw that you had that stamina. I didn't get one either.
There
I
you
just
go.
had a latte. Creme brulee was very good.
Yeah.
But that was it. That's all I
Yeah.
needed. It was just a little
Absolutely.
tiny bit of sweetness.
And so you're in control.
In control. This book
And this is a long, slow program.
Yeah, it
This
is.
might be 1 pound a week, but if you lost 52 pounds by this time next year, would that be okay?
No, that's usually water weight anyway, right? It's not, and it's not healthy to lose. Some people, they want to lose 20 pounds in like a week.
And they gain it back just as fast.
You don't, yeah, right. It doesn't, the purpose to this too, from what I have found in just reading the book, is this is lifelong. This isn't
Yes.
just because you want to get into that bathing suit in the
Right.
summertime, or you have to get into the tuxedo or the dress for your cousin's wedding. This is really for a lifelong
The
weight
rest of your
management
life.
and healthy lifestyle.
Yeah.
So the book itself, again, is incredible. Exhale, Weight. Take us through the book itself. I mean, you have recipes, you have all these tips, 30 seconds every night for the next 3
That's the
weeks.
body image.
Anger dissolving.
Yep.
Is there anything specific in the book that you want to share with us that maybe would resonate with our audience? Aside from the whole book?
I am in control concept is in there. And I actually have the top 10 ways food controls us. And it's kind of
Can
like,
you share a few? I'm interested. Aren't you interested?
well, let's just go through them. I
Especially if we
believe
go
it's-
for lunch or something. I want to know. I'm going to think about this a little differently now.
Okay, so I talk about how about control, and then
Yeah.
I go, not true, you say? Well, here's the top 10 ways food controls us. We can be tempted and overeat, bypassing any logic or common sense, stuffing ourselves over and over. We wouldn't think of spreading a whole bottle of moisturizer on ourselves. We wouldn't wear 3 sets of clothing, layering one after another. We wouldn't take 15 tissues to blow our nose once, right?
Yeah.
We'll pay any price for an item, food or beverage, if we want it. The coffee shops come to mind, where a single cookie can be like $1.25 or more, depending on where you live.
If you think
But
about the money
it's
part, that'll do it.
insane.
Yeah.
It's insane to pay $1.25 for a cookie, one cookie.
And we've all probably done
Right,
it.
and that's because the cookie controls us.
Yeah, there it is.
There it is.
And they put out only 2, so you think if you don't grab one, there won't be any left. They know what they're doing. Inventory
games,
control,
yeah.
right? That's hypnosis.
Hypnosis. We'll knowingly eat products that have ingredients that are harmful to our health. And if you read a bottle of something and it has big long words you can't pronounce,
not
you
good.
should not be putting
That's
that in
taboo.
your body.
That's
It just
taboo.
you're just wondering if that's good for your body.
Yeah.
Additives, preservatives, and ingredients we cannot pronounce. We will find a way to override any logic if we think it tastes good. Yes, I know, but I know I shouldn't have that
Boy,
donut,
that
but
tastes so good.
I
right?
know,
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
we will finish our children's food if they don't finish it. I mean, really, eating off other people's plates,
I was never fond of
who's
that.
in control of that? We'll call ourselves names, berate ourselves, and feel shame because of what we eat. We would be angry if someone else did this. If someone else berated us, we'd say,
we'd be like, who do you think you are?
who do you think you are? You're right. Even when we swear we'll never overeat again, deep down we know we will, and we do. Have you ever had a really, really, really bad hangover? You don't want to answer that.
There's a possibility.
A possibility. Yes, open to the possibility.
After a jubilant celebration of some sort.
Well, I did that once.
No, but it can be,
I had a really bad hangover, and I swore I'd never do that again, and I haven't. I mean, I've had maybe been a little tipsy, but I have never gone that far again.
All it took was the one.
Because it just hurts so bad.
Excruciating for you, yeah.
Pain was a good motivator.
All kinds of tips here today.
Yeah. If a large bag of potato chips is on the counter, as long as it's not opened, I will never touch it. If someone else opens it, I can't leave it alone until it's gone. I'll have a little bowl, and then I'll go, oh, that was really good. I'm going to have another little bowl. So I have another little bowl. And then I keep going, and then I go, oh, well, I haven't had chips in a long time.
You know what I do?
And then I finish with, okay, I'm going to finish the whole bag because then it won't tempt me anymore.
That's exactly what I was going to say. If we do buy a bag of chips or something, we try to buy the healthy ones, kettle cooked, this, that, and the other. They won't last long in the house because, of course, they taste good. But there's the feeling of, I'll eat some each day because if I eat them faster, it's not as, it's not in your face for 7 days that you're eating something not so healthy. You eat them all in 2 days and you're like, okay, that's done.
Yeah.
But then a week later you get another bag.
Yeah. Once you get the I am in total control concept, chips are around.
Yeah.
You have a few with your meal. You stop when you're full because you are in control.
And that's the key, what I noticed you're saying is if you're going to have these things that you want, you desire, have them while having other things. Because if you just have the chips, you're going to sit there and eat all the chips. But if you have them with other things.
Jim, it's more because the program is based on having everything within 3 meals a day and allowing your body to fast in between.
So if you have the chips, you'll have them when you're having something else, like a meal.
Sandwich at lunch.
So that's what. So if you're having a sandwich, have the chips with it, as opposed to snacking on the chips in between.
I don't snack in between at all, and I don't eat at night. I allow my body to rest. It's my gift to my body.
Because it's handling the other food you ate earlier.
Yeah. And when I am tempted, I just say, no, I'll interrupt it burning the fat on my body.
Now, we talked about this, having that hypnosis component, and we're talking about weight control and weight loss, but you can also do this with smoking, with other things too, right? Tell us about that.
Well, I use the same concept. Who's in control? Now, with smokers, as soon as they come in, I work out the money. And it's
the cost
amazing.
of cigarettes?
Yes, the cost of smoking.
Yeah.
It is
Which is
amazing
expensive,
how most smokers have not worked that out. And so when I say,
so
what would you do with an extra $6,000 a year? And they go, I would go on vacation. So I go, see, it's a great motivator. But I also have a wonderful program, one session stop smoking, and I guarantee it for life. Really? If you ever are tempted to start smoking, or you do start smoking, you come back in for one more session. You don't pay. It's good for life.
It's like a tune-up, follow-up.
That's how confident I am in that smoking program.
Wow, that's incredible.
Right. Hypnosis can be used for so many things. And, it's good for you overall in that it opens oxygen to the brain.
What about somebody who maybe is not clear on hypnosis or fearful of it, or they have heard myths and stories, and they don't know how to release and open up? How do you work with somebody that's resistant?
Every hypnotist has what we call a pre-talk, and we go over all the myths of hypnosis. One of them is that you the hypnotist will control you while you're under hypnosis. In fact, you are in total control of your session. I'm just your guide. I just guide you through it. And how I know that for sure is I do very deep emotional work when I work with clients who come in with trauma. And I remember taking a client back to age 4 where the original trauma happened. And the client indicated they were there, it was happening, and I asked for more detail. You have to be very careful not to lead, but you can ask for more details. And they just said, I don't want to talk about it. And I knew then they weren't ready. And so we just did a little bit of forgiveness work, a little bit of letting go, just preparing them for later on. So then I brought them out of hypnosis. But that taught me, if I were in control, I could have made them talk about it. They are in control of their session. It was too painful at that time for them to do it. So they are in control of the session. The next thing they are apprehensive about is that they may tell me secrets. You will not tell me anything you wouldn't tell me in a waking state. If you did, I'd have a lot of ATM numbers.
Right. So everything.
I'd have all the pins.
Right.
Yeah. No, you won't tell me anything that you wouldn't tell me anyway. So your secrets are safe. If there's, we all have secrets in our life. We all have things we don't want to talk about.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I don't think there's really much more about hypnosis that
helps with emotional release too, like you're talking about. Weight, stop smoking, but also if you're going through stress and going through...
Executives, they have lots and lots of stress.
Absolutely.
And sometimes they're, so left brain, they don't think to try hypnosis. But I have had executives in, and they relax so much. They sometimes say, I don't know whether you can put me in hypnosis. And I go, well, that's my job. And so let's give it a go. All I need you to do is follow my instructions.
Just follow the instructions.
And so take a deep breath in, and as you exhale.
Exhale.
We use that expression all the time.
It's incredible, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, when you go to the doctor and they have you breathe in, if you're not feeling well, they always say, be sure and exhale. So many people forget to exhale. They'll breathe in, but they won't release it.
Yes.
We all do that.
Yeah.
Exhale, breathe.
That's
it's okay to breathe.
Breathing. Right.
It's really amazing work that you're doing, Jo-Anne. It really is.
You know what's so wonderful about it is there are times when a client leaves that I just sit down and I say, how am I so lucky to do this work? You change people's lives.
Yeah.
And it isn't me doing it.
Right.
The work comes through me.
You're the conduit. You're the conduit.
So divinely guided with this work. And most hypnotists they are becoming very spiritual hypnotists. How we know that is you have a client in hypnosis and maybe you're doing a guided meditation. And you're telling them to walk down a path, and maybe they come to a gate. And you're going to take them through a gate because when you take them through something, a doorway, a gateway, something like that, that's when you can introduce the new. And so you'll have them describe the gate. And it's funny because you've seen it in your mind before they even describe it. And you're both on the same wavelength.
Yeah, same wavelength.
It's really quite amazing. I realized that a lot of my extra training came from coming to the United States, and I love coming to the States, being from Canada. But because of that, I began the Canadian Hypnosis Conference, and I'm the director and founder of that conference. And that's where people come to learn new techniques, network with other hypnotists, and actually go into hypnosis.
Really?
We're always the ones putting people into hypnosis unless we do self-hypnosis.
Sure.
But if somebody wants to just try hypnosis, just Google hypnosis for weight. hypnosis for smoking, hypnosis for stress, or hypnosis for whatever you want, nail biting, let's say. And there is a YouTube for almost everything. And you can sit right in front of your computer. It's free, and you can experience hypnosis. And I will guarantee that when you come out of hypnosis, you will say, that really felt wonderful. Almost everybody that comes in that says, you know what, I've tried it before, and the hypnotist couldn't get me in hypnosis. And I go, well, you didn't pick the right hypnotist. This is the magic of Jo-Anne. And it isn't so much magic as it is experience and techniques that I've learned at things such as conventions and conferences.
Absolutely.
And
you're always re-educating yourself and learning the latest new techniques. And absolutely.
Yes. And that's how I came across the virtual gastric band with Sheila Granger.
Which is so amazing.
She comes to our conference every year, and she's just a magnet. People absolutely love her. And that technique is spreading worldwide. She was one of the founders of the virtual gastric band. And many hypnotists have done an offshoot, like there's the thinner band and the slimmer band and this band and that band, which is fine.
Yeah.
But she is one of the pioneers, and she's marvelous.
So just to quickly delve a little bit deeper into what it is again, it's a virtual gastric band.
Yeah.
So we envision that there's a band there.
We envision the entire operation, and I take them through it just like any kind of a guided meditation.
And then we visualize that the band is always in place to help us resist temptation.
We visualize the top part of our stomach as a golf ball sized pouch. And you know what, I had to practice saying that. I kept saying golf ball size pouch. That's so easy. Golf ball size pouch. Yeah, and I had to practice it so I could say it while I had people in hypnosis.
So about this big.
Yeah, about this big, and that once we fill that we're full. And through session 2, 3, and 4, we reinforce that in different ways. And there's many techniques that we use in the scripts to drive the point home.
And it's not a cookie cutter approach. We want to let people know too that when you work with people in all forms of your hypnosis, and including Exhale Wait, which we're talking about today, and her book as well as the program, you have standard things that you do that are part of the program, but you will sort of reframe it, which is a word we've used, to customize it to the personality and the person.
I haven't had 2 clients the same since I began to do it. And everybody brings something different to their own program.
Right.
Because someone has been traumatized as a child, and so they eat to cover that up. Someone has had, romantic
issues,
disappointments or whatever, or divorces or things like that.
Right.
And so they eat to soothe their soul, as I call it.
Phobias or whatever. Yeah.
Phobias, we work with everything.
It's absolutely cool. Let's show them that book again. Okay. This book is really incredible, folks. Again, it is Exhale Wait, and it's an easy read too.
Very easy.
You really don't want to put it down. I mean, just in the style that you've written it, Jo-Anne's weight releasing tips and tricks. It's from, that's right.
Yeah. One of the tips and tricks, you just caught that title. At night, we want to snack. But what we really want is the motion to the mouth. The motion to the mouth, right? I think that began in the movie theater where we have the popcorn, where we just, motion to the mouth. So what I suggest is they get a glass with a straw and just take a sip of their water. And it sort of fulfills the same thing. And you think, no, it can't take the place of chips or something like that, but you'd be surprised. Another thing, a tip or hint, and I'm giving everything away, but there's so much in that program that I can give away 10 things and there's still more.
Well, I love brushing your teeth and that minty taste. Brushing your teeth is really
good.
Toothpaste.
Yes.
Makes you feel like you've eaten something.
Yes.
Once you brush your teeth, you don't want to spoil a fresh mouth. That's why, when you drink something, one of the worst things is in the morning if you have just done your teeth with a minty toothpaste and then you go downstairs to have orange juice. boom. That'll so, I mean, it's great at night, especially if you're hungry, to brush
just go
the
brush
teeth.
your teeth.
And amazing basic things in this book. You would think that it's like an exhaustive process and it's going to be really, really hard. It really isn't, is it?
And it's such a skinny little book, and yet there are so many things in there.
Yeah, 124 pages if you include everything. It's
Yeah.
really incredible. The book could be found where? On your website?
On my website.
And the website is?
www.poweroffreedom.ca.
I love that name.
And Power of Freedom, with emotional freedom, you have personal power.
Which is the important thing. And then again, it really comes back to that and owning it and taking a responsibility. Jo-Anne Eadie, this has been amazing. And again, the book is Exhale Weight.
Talking about it. Thank you.
Thanks for joining us
Thank
and
you.
sharing your story with us and the story of those that you've been able to help. And maybe she can help you as well. Again, the book one more time.
Oh, give me a call.
Yeah,
I can do this over the phone, over Skype.
Oh, you can, so no matter where they live,
do.
because you're based in Canada, but it could be
Right.
literally anywhere. That's terrific.
Yeah.
All right, so again, Exhale Weight and the website poweroffreedom.ca. Thank you so much again, Jo-Anne.
Thank you. And if you're a hypnotist, I teach this method. And, if you're interested in that, I can teach you how to do it with your clients. And you can get the results that I'm getting, because I'm getting very high results with my clients.
Thank you very much. Our very special guest, Jo-Anne Eadie, the book Exhale Weight. Go to her website. It is really incredible. It's rich with content. Poweroffreedom.ca. For all of us here at CUTV News, I'm Jim Masters. Thanks for joining us.